Good morning. Look, I had seen a post this morning. If I find it again, I'm gonna go ahead and tag it. But it had said, "I retire the word single mom."
You know how it goes, yeah. Early mornings, late nights, still holding it down.
You're taking on something that requires more than one
Parents
person,
with that
and
real
you're
love,
doing a
steady
damn
running this
good
town.
job at it.
That real love.
Of gratitude this morning. And
conversations
you
in
gotta
the
know
air,
that
let the truth rewind. Feels like 2005 every time we shine. Yeah, every time we shine.
to things, but I think parenting should just be parenting. Where no single father, single mother, couple. I mean, just you're a parent. Whether you birthed them or adopted them, you are a parent. You will have. Not only are you having a human experience, but you have to teach someone else how to guide and lead their way to have their own human experience and be great at it. Great at it. So at the end of the day, I don't think parenting should be subjective. I don't think parenting should be in any type of category. I think parenting should just be parenting. Some people just parent by themselves. Some people co-parent. Some people parent with extended family. I think it's just parenting. Whether you're a single father, a single mother, whatever the case, a single guardian, what's your relationship status got to do with how you parent? Because the ones I'm talking to, the ones I'm inviting to this digital neighborhood, is the ones that stand up for them kids. The one that center the kids. The one that, yeah, when it comes to their kids, they didn't have step. They didn't have step at all. They're the ones I'm welcoming into my neighborhood. So once you think about that, everybody is just parenting. Some people just parent differently. Does that make them a bad parent or a good parent? I don't know. Do it right for your household. Do it right for your household. Single person household. Single parent household. Like, that makes sense. Single parent household, because that person is one individual taking care of a household. Why do we have to justify whether they're a mother or a father? Because I think that's where the bad rep is coming in, when that stigma is coming in with single moms, because we always trying to, generalize things. Single father, single mother. And single mothers, let's be real, kids tend to stay with the mother. It's a small percentage, but it is rising that single fathers are taking on the role. But it's also a saying that single dads or single, it's also that saying that it's such thing as stay-at-home fathers now. So I could see that being on a rise. Because if moms were stay-at-home moms and the kids are always there with the mom, so yeah, single mother, right? The kids will automatically go with her, right? But now we have stay-at-home dads. So the stay-at-home dads, are now becoming single fathers. Crazy how the roles are reversing. And I'm talking about gender roles. I'm not talking about anything else but gender roles. That's it. And I know people, I'm like, why so taking care of basic necessities or taking care of doing life skills has to be categorized with a woman? Yes. Because women will eventually become the leading gender to die first, because now men are leading it, you know what I'm saying? Because they out there working and taking on the world and doing all the rest of that other stuff. I'm talking about the real men, okay? Not the ones that sit at home and leech off of, But anyways, yeah. I'm talking about them people, right? Yeah. And eventually, women will be the number one dying people. Gender. Why? Because we are taking care the household now. We're taking care of the children now. We're following our dreams. We're pursuing our passion. We're going through our vision. Then we're raising these kids, trying to make sure they have a great head start in life, you know, doing all these things. And the only thing the man is doing is just working. See, I'm what you call traditional. I'd rather be at home taking care of my children and, you know, still chasing my vision. But carving out time to make sure that my household is continuing to run. And that my husband is at least 85% of his capacity. And most of the time, he just need a good cake and some good food. And, you know, and a vision. And me continue to feed in that vision. Feed that vision. Work that vision. Until it's my time. And he's going to have to do the same. See, that's what you call equally yoked. See, it's not the roles can be reversed. Our responsibilities can be reversed. You get what I'm going? But it's the understanding that you two have in your household. A lot of times we end up running a single parent household because you could say you was never taught, but at a certain point, it's up to you to learn. Now, whether you want to learn, that's up to you too. But you can't keep saying you don't have access to more information because we all have phones with internet on them. They made sure of that, okay? So there's no excuse. Even our phones even read to us if you can't read. You know, things are becoming so easy for us. So there's no excuse as to why you don't have more information on why you can't become better for them kids. Because we, at the end of the day, we censoring kids over here in this neighborhood. You can say the kids matter, women matter, men matter too. Because everybody putting in the same amount of work. It's just different roles, different responsibilities. But energy-wise, nobody's working harder than the next person. And that's the gap that we have to close. That's the gap that we have to understand. That you're not putting in more work than I am. And I'm not putting in more work than you. It's the way that we energize. It's the way that it's the way that we re-energize ourselves. It's the way we replenish ourselves together that keeps this household running. And that's why a lot of times we move in with people and it don't work out because we move in with people that those two things don't align. They don't understand that in this season, you might have this role and responsibility. In the next season, I got us. They don't understand that. And so there's never a middle ground. There's never a common ground in the middle. Once we understand that we're not enemies. You know what I'm saying? We're not enemies. Women are not incubators. You know what I'm saying? Men are not ATMs. Once we understand that bare minimum, then we can kind of start working out, start replenishing that. But in the meantime, between time, how can you become a better version for yourself for them kids? Because I go in all types of chats, you know, whether it's YouTube, the chats on Facebook, or the chats on TikTok. Like, everybody kind of saying the same thing across the board. Everybody kind of saying the same thing across the board. Everybody want to be heard. And I think everybody should be heard. Everybody should have a choice. Everybody should have an opinion. But that don't mean that you have to adapt it. That don't mean that you have to argue and say, oh, that's wrong. It just doesn't work for your household. It just does not work for your neighborhood. And that's okay. That's okay. Everybody don't have to be blue. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't have to be purple. Everybody don't have to be red, white, or blue. Okay, some people probably want to mix blue and red together and make purple. Some people probably want to mix white with blue and make light blue. I mean, they might like the shade blue, but they just like it a little lighter. Like, that's okay too. Once we figure that out, like, it's okay to be different. It's okay for somebody else to have their own opinion. It's the respect that we lost. The understanding that we lost. I don't care about you having an opinion. I don't care about you liking this part. I don't care about none of that. I don't care how the way you look at single parent households. I don't care about none of that. What are you doing? Why do you got so much time to look over here what I'm doing? Are you a single parent? I mean, are you a single parent? Are you running a single parent household? Because if you're not running a single parent household, there's no reason why you over here questioning what I got going on. Once again, you on the wrong block. You in the wrong neighborhood. This is not your neighborhood. So welcome. Welcome, my single parents. Welcome to the neighborhood. I am Tyrra Monnik, and I run a single parent household. I've been running a single parent household for 3 years now, and it's been tough. It's been rough. It's been all the above and below. Okay, but I got through it. Because at the end of the day, single parent households are rising, and they are becoming more common now. And you don't have to stay here. It's not a period. It's a comma. Having a single parent household is a comma. It's not a period. It's not your for everything unless you want to make it your for everything. But the option is there for it to become a 2-parent household. But first you got to handle the single parent household. And I'm not talking about finances right now. I'm talking about yourself. In order for your household, in order for your foundation to stay sturdy, you got to care for it, right? You got to maintenance it. You got to take care of it. That's what you have to do for yourself. Whether you have 1 child or 4 or 7 or 10. How are you showing up for yourself every day? How is your children seeing you every day? I know we so quick, you know, as parents to run to the comfortable clothes because they can be cute and comfy. You know what I'm saying? I understand that. But how can you push your child to get out their element, to get out their safe space, to get out their comfort zone if they don't see you get out your comfort zone? If they don't see you get out your safe space, they don't see you become uncomfortable. And then they don't see you when you do become uncomfortable. What do you do to make yourself comfortable? If they're not seeing that, how can you sit there and tell them, you should get out this room? Why you in this room all day? Why you got them clothes on? Oh, I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I got things to do, but you don't. No, stop comparing. Because how can you? It's that saying, you can't compete where you don't compare. They don't compare to what you running. They're children. They're kids. They're teenagers. They can't baby. They can't compete with you. What you got going on? So you can't compare what they're doing if you're not representing or you're not showing or you're not modeling the same thing. If you always in your room and not doing anything, what you think your kids gonna do? It goes back to saying, oh, parents are the first teachers. Yes. In case nobody knew that, yes, you are your child's first teacher. The way your child show up in that pre-K school, that's what you have been teaching them. And sometimes it's funny because now you understand, or you know, as a teacher, you know how this school year gonna go. Because that goes to parenting. Parenting is a skill. Anybody can parent. You just got to be taught how to parent. Parenting is a skill. There should be a class, a parenting class. It's a skill. Nurturing? Baby, that's a gift. Because everybody don't have the soul of a nurturer. Everybody don't have the soul of a carer. Everybody don't have the soul to be kind. Baby, that's a gift. Parent is a skill. You can sign up for a class in college right now and take some parenting classes. Matter of fact, you can do child development and they're going to throw some parenting classes in there on how to teach and model. How you think these teachers be getting certified? Parenting is a skill. Baby, that razzle dazzle is that nurturing. It's the caring. It's the kindness. It's the understanding. It's the fruits of the spirit. You know, that's why they say you got to have instructions. When your child go to pre-K or go to any kind of grade school, the first thing teachers talk about is instruction. And then the hands-on. Then you walk. Then you put action to it. Our kids need instructions. And that's part of the parenting skills, is teaching instructions. Once you teach them instructions, they understand the concept of what instructions are and how it will help them along their journey, along their way. That's a skill that can be taught. The delivery comes with the nurturing. The delivery comes with that razzle-dazzle I was talking about. But you got to have that in your soul. You got to have that in your heart. And if you don't have that in your soul, and if you don't have that in your heart, it's going to be hard to model that to your children. It's going to be hard to do so. So in this neighborhood, on this block, I can teach you some skills on how to be a good parent or how to parent. But that nurturing part, that's going to have to come from you. And I pray and I hope that you find it along this journey. Once again, I am Tyrra Monnik, and welcome to the neighborhood.
Every time. To the parents that show up tired and still show love, salute to you. Because you standing on 10 about yours. With the real parents, please stand up. It's time to accept the reward others tried to take from you. Let's raise our glasses up and toast to the good life we created for us.